the will of the Father. There is a great danger that the meaning of many statements and events related to the end of Jesus' life on earth will be misunderstood. The betrayal, the cruel treatment, the insults, the scourging, the unfair trial, or the insensitive attitude of those who called themselves religious leaders were in no way predestined or the will of the Heavenly Father. The byproducts of evil should not be confused with the fact that Jesus, by patiently enduring all this suffering and humiliation, was doing the will of the Father in paradise. It was indeed the will of the Father that his Son would drink the cup of the experience of mortal man entirely, the experience of a complete earthly life from birth to death. But the Father in heaven had absolutely nothing to do with inciting the barbaric behavior of those so-called civilized people, who, out of their collective will, so mercilessly tortured the Master and subjected him to such terrible humiliation over and over again. These inhumane and shocking experiences that Jesus had to endure in the last hours of his mortal existence were in no way part of the divine will. The individual Jesus fulfilled this by entirely surrendering his human nature to God in the end, as he expressed in the threefold prayer he uttered in the garden, while his weary apostles slept the sleep of physical exhaustion. The Father in heaven desired that his Creator Son would naturally conclude his earthly career, just as all created mortals must one day lay down their earthly lives. Heaven required that he undergo the experience of death, that he too must experience the struggle of the life spirit leaving the body. And so Jesus did. He submitted his own will to that of the Heavenly Father. Ordinary men and women cannot expect their final hours on earth to be made easy by special decree. Accordingly, Jesus chose to lay down his earthly life through the natural process of a broken body from which the life spirit can no longer remain. You must realize that Jesus' body was in good physical condition. Only a month earlier, he had walked over 60 kilometers in one day when he was on his way from Perea to the tomb of Lazarus. His life spirit would never have been able to voluntarily leave his healthy body. However, his spirit no longer wished to yield to the spiritually entrenched power structures that have held so many people captive for generations. He resigned himself to the knowledge that the sacrifice of his death on earth would serve as a moment of reflection for all future generations. Jesus taught and lived spiritual freedom. He was willing to die for this, thereby breaking through the spiritual web that holds humanity captive in tradition, the breakthrough through which a group cannot pass, but through which the soul of the individual can ascend to their Heavenly Father. He steadfastly refused to use his divine power to free himself from the cruel clutches of the evil conspiracy that moved with terrible certainty toward his humiliation and shameful death. Every part of this appalling manifestation of hate and this unparalleled demonstration of cruelty was the work of wicked men and depraved mortals. God in heaven did not will this, nor did it happen at the command of Jesus' spiritual enemies, although they did everything in their power to cause humanity to reject the Son given to them. It has been revealed to us that even the father of sin turned his face away at the sight of the unbearable horror of the crucifixion.